Xander, only bogey of the day, double, I guess, came at 11. How important was it then to kind of respond quickly and finish the way you did?
Yeah. It was just a terrible swing and was a bit uneasy. Watched two great shots into that green and thought I could pile one on there and sort of cut the lead even more. And to go backwards on a par 5 is never what we're trying to do. So, and then compounding a terrible wedge shot on top of it. So, happy to bury the next, and then it was a bonus to make that eagle on 16.
What is the value right now? You're projected in the final group with Wyndham. When someone is leading by that much, to be in the group with them, to kind of see it, maybe put some pressure on them.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you just said. All you're trying to do is get some pressure on someone. I mean, Wyndham's been playing incredible golf for quite a few months now, and he's got the power and the precision, and he's very confident right now. So it's important to be in that final group, just to try and put some pressure on them and try and get going.
Can you talk about the degree of difficulty for your second shot on 18? You had to punch out. It seems like such a difficult shot for us.
Yeah, it's scary for sure. You're on pine straw, ball's kind of floating. If you're on the hole, I don't know from camera, but like the 18th fairway is really firming up. I hit a hybrid like 295 yards, which I didn't think I could do. That's why I ended up in the pine straw. And so any ball that's sort of bounding left, you're not cutting into the hill on 18. It's just going to roll and roll and roll into the water. So Austin and I talked about hitting it on the 18 logo behind the green with a little fade, and it was as good of a shot as I can hit.
Where'd you hit?
A 6-iron it was 150 yards front. We're trying to fly it like 110 yards.
What are you doing well this week? Besides taking it one shot at a time.
Yeah, you like my cliches, along with every other tour pro out here. I'm probably putting a little bit better. I got to look at it. Converting some putts. Putter's been a bit weird this year. Putted really well at Amex, and then once we got onto my coast, Poe, and some bad weather, I really just lost some confidence with the putter. So nice to be on some smoother surfaces and making some good putts.
Xander, are there things, obviously you want to lead, but are there things that you like about chasing? I mean, is there an element to that where there's a little bit less pressure? You got to kind of. I know there's 36 holes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit early for that, to be honest, but yeah. I mean, I've won from behind, and I mean, I think it should be maybe a little bit easier, but for the most part, I mean, we're just all here like we telling Doug, we're just trying to stick to our own process and get in our own world, and you kind of forget where you're at when you do that well.
You see, just with Wyndham, one more on him. A few years ago, Scotty hadn't won, and then he kind of broke through, and then now obviously we've seen what he's been doing. Wyndham kind of did that at Quail last year, and obviously, he's played really well in the big events.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see a similar path potentially? With him that Scotty's been has taken to get the way he's playing right now.
I'm not sure. Probably ask him that question, to be honest. I kind of just worry about myself in these moments and don't really think about what other people are doing.
Xander, they did a swing breakdown last night of what you try to do technically, but I'm just curious. I mean, you were third on tour last year in strokes gained total, one of the most complete players on the PGA Tour. What level are you trying to access with Chris that maybe you hadn't before?
First. Yeah. Second, then first, or just first, preferably.
How do you get there?
Hitting it a little bit further would help. There's definitely a above 180 ball speed average with a certain trajectory or height. There's an advantage there, and depending on what property you're playing on, you can get a really big advantage if you're kind of living in the mid 80s relative to high 70s. You just can cover bunkers that are sitting around that 300 mark easier. And then just trying to maintain sort of the iron play within and the wedges within. When you start adding some distance to your bag, it affects everything else down the bag. So it's a tricky thing to balance.
How did you discover those goals or benchmarks you wanted to hit?
It's just, everyone's got the stats. It's just hard to get yourself to do it and stay healthy, and everything that comes along with trying to make yourself better from third place, not make yourself worse. Thanks, guys.